and welcome back. I won't be playing much for today. Reasons I'm about to go into. I'll upload the previous part. Feeling too well today. And at the end of the video, some progress. So, yesterday at around 2 p.m. my time, I came home from the supermarket. Well, actually, I didn't get home. I made it to the car. Right behind me, all of a sudden, this person was like walking behind me, and then he was like running into me, and I thought at first I was getting mugged by a random person, and then I just turned around, and it turned out to be my father's goon. One of my father's goons, the pimp I've probably talked about earlier. And so end of story is he followed me all the way to my car. He rammed into me. He ran into me. And then he told me, drop all your shit and put down your glasses. And so I kind of did calmly. I did things calmly, and I thought, oh, okay. And then he kind of tried fighting. He wanted me to hit him first. Apparently there were like people watching in the back, and I didn't throw a single punch, and I instead pulled my phone out and I tried pushing record in on my phone, like pressing record. And before I could do that, he lost his cool, and he just like took my glasses and destroyed them. And then he tried taking my phone, and while I was wrestling for my phone, he just like kicked me in the gut, and I just fell down a ravine behind me. Like he beat the shit out of me for a bit. He like kicked me even when I was plummeting down the ravine. I went to the ER. I spent last night at the ER. It was very unpleasant, and it's really it's not even the pain of, not the physical pain.
Through the grimy glass, I could see several large shapes in a gloomy room. What they were, I couldn't imagine. There was no obvious way into the building. Access to the side and rear of the museum building was blocked by a dense clump of bushes. A real macho guy would have plunged straight into the spiky, scratchy bushes. Not me.
And yeah, I spent the last of the day at the ER yesterday. I got checked, and thankfully most of it is just swollen. Like my left and my right leg are swollen, and some of it is a bit strained. And my lung, I've had issues with my lungs since my Mexico days, when I had a car accident, and now that's all kind of coming back, so that kind of sucks. I've had issues like breathing, and I was constantly coughing, and at the end of my Mexico trip I had to go to an ER in Mexico because I was puking up blood all the time. I don't really know what to do, to be honest. Not played this game in so long, and trying to make this pleasant. I think we have to go back somewhere. And yeah, my body hurts a lot, but you know what really hurts? Oh, the airport, I think. What really hurts is that my own father would actually do this to me. Like my own father would sick a fucking psychopathic fucking hitman on me, like a fucking goon who would beat the shit out of me. Oh, we're already going to Ireland? Okay. There was no build-up. It's my favorite part of the game, to be honest.
Several hours later, I arrived in Ireland, the Emerald Isle. I'd been lucky to get a bus from Dublin to the tiny village of Lochmarne. On the way out, the driver told me there was only one service a day.
This is beautifully created character there. I mean, the rest of it too. And you know, it's not just that he did all that stuff. Is I don't
The
think
menu was limited. It read, "No food today." I didn't care. I'd lost my appetite somewhere over the Irish Sea.
so. That's just the beginning, really. The weekend before. So this was on yesterday was Friday, right? So yeah, Friday. And the weekend before, on Sunday, he actually burglarized my home while I was away for a bit. He this is the first time I caught him on camera, and it turns out he actually broke into my home multiple times and like really slowly stole things, and just a couple games at first, and now he pretty much ruined my entire limited run collection and stole some broken sword stuff. Like I had like this little collection from Amazon, and that collection is kind of gone now entirely. And yeah. So yeah, that's just painful. I've spent
It was a
thousands.
trap door in the sidewalk.
I've spent thousands of euros and dollars and whatnot, pounds on video games, and now most of my stuff is really gone. He stole a lot of things. He stole at least, I don't know, 5,000, 6,000 as far as I could tell, and that's just really the beginning. I haven't really looked into how much he actually stole, because I'm really freaking traumatized from having my own father burglarize me multiple times, and police got called, and it got quite crazy. So I checked the security tapes on my computer, and then I came back, and actually put the entire camera back, because I took the entire camera out, and when I placed it back, what I did is I spent like 30 minutes at home, and then I drove away again in my car, and then I waited another 30 minutes in my car, and then I walked back home. And when I got inside, I caught him again breaking into my home, just hours after the last break-in. And after that, he stole my security camera. This time he stole my security camera. And Germany, I have to say, Germany is an absolute shithole, because the police was not doing anything. They were not even checking whether he has my stuff. I told them he stole the camera like 45 minutes before they arrived. And because I called 110, which is German for 911, basically. They didn't care. They didn't care at all. They didn't even take the key. So he has a forged key. He forged a key to my home, and the police did not even take it away. He still has access to my home. I've not been able to replace the lock since then, and and after I reported him, after the Kripo, which is like the basically the German state police, after they took over, a couple days later, I get roughed up by this fucking goon that he's called on me before, and honestly, I feel like he wanted to kill his own son, his only son, because this guy threw me down a fucking 6-foot deep ravine, like basically a hole in the ground. When I say a ravine, I basically mean a hole in the friggin' ground with lots of branches. I got pretty much pushed over a piece of fencing, so my legs also have like cuts from that day, and they let him go, and the most insane thing is, the police is actually calling me the defendant now, the accused. Because after he pushed me down a ravine, he went to the friggin' police before I did. And apparently in Germany, if you go to the police, even if you're the actual culprit, if you're the one reporting, it doesn't matter. If you're the first one reporting, then the next guy reporting in is the accused, even if that's the victim. And he basically told them that I assaulted him, even though he has not a single scratch. It's freaking insane to me what is even happening there.
I tugged at the trapdoor, but it was locked from the inside.
How do I still have that? Like, really? I don't think you can bring a sewer key on the friggin'... That's madness, to be honest.
The workman's key was the obvious tool to use to open this trapdoor. It was specifically designed for a job like this. Unfortunately, there weren't any holes in the trapdoor.
Yeah, because it's a different country, but how the frick did he even get this over the board? Like, I don't think you can take this on a plane. So yeah, I am traumatized, really. And the most insane thing is, after the police left, I kind of eavesdropped on him. And my father's new girlfriend is blackmailing him. She told him either he does all that stuff against me. Like, he's a monster himself, but apparently he's also being blackmailed. And I'm sure he would do all of that stuff out of his free will, but he's also being blackmailed. She told him that unless he does that, she will report him for rape and several burglaries. Because there's been... I'm not the only victim. There's been so many burglaries in our town of Jestetten. I'm naming that town. So it's in the southwest of Germany, near the Swiss border. It's called Jestetten, and it's like Jest Stetten. It's a complete crime. It's a complete hive of crime and like insanity. Like you would kind of assume that level of crime in Berlin or Cologne or like a large city, but down here, the guy he hired to beat me up, a woman who's also kind of a witness, helped me out. So she didn't come to the police because she told me she didn't see the whole thing. But a nice Irish guy, surprisingly. That's another reason I'm playing this right now. A nice Irish guy actually showed up, and he told me he'd come to the police as a witness, and he took me... he came with me to the police station, and he's an independent witness, which is good, because the freaking pimp also brought 2 witnesses, apparently. Or at least he told me. But these 2 witnesses might have been my father and his girlfriend, so they don't really count, I'd say. Yeah, and what's also insane, I just went back to the supermarket. Obviously I had somebody actually come with, because I figured if I go alone I'd be beaten up again. They told me at the supermarket, Penny, they told me they have cameras, but the cameras are not turned on usually. So, amazing. It's freaking amazing. They have cameras, but they don't use them. Germany is quite frankly insane if you have never been to Germany. There's a lot of insane stuff going on here that's not normal at all to a person who was basically grown up in the Anglosphere.
The farmer's craggy face was set in a mask of aesthetic appreciation. His feet were set in a pair of manure-caked boots. Hi, do you speak English?
Well, no, what if I was to say no? An implication of cognizance shrouded in denial. A pretty poser of a paradox indeed.
I gave him the look I'd perfected when I was 12 and was going to be the greatest hypnotist of all time. It was a killer.
Are you attempting to hypnotize me, or is it the constipation you're suffering?
I was a little out of practice. What can you tell me about the castle?
Not much, I'm sorry to say. Most of its history is long forgotten. Ah, but if these old stones could only speak, what stories they'd tell. Stories to make your toes curl and your blood run cold. You know, this castle is said to be over 600 years old.
Who built the castle?
Mad Phelan, the first Lord of Lochmarn. Well, I say lord, but actually he was little more than a village chieftain. He built his castle from the remains of the Templar Preceptory.
Where was the site of the Templar Preceptory?
Right here on Temple Hill. Phelan built right on top of the old wall. It's said that deep beneath these walls, there's a Templar chapel.
Did Pegram discover the chapel?
I don't know. His workers were sworn to secrecy.
Do you mind if I climb up your haystack to get into the castle?
What? You'd break your stupid neck for sure. Do you think I'd stand by and see your brains dashed out?
I'd be very careful, and I promise not to sue.
You won't get the chance, not while I'm here to stop you.
Yeah, I thought when I fell down this hole, I'd break my neck for sure as well. It was quite deep and down. If I had hit my head and actually fallen down further, I actually got stopped like midway. If I had hit my head and fallen down further, there was a river right underneath. So, if I had like lost my conscious, I probably would have drowned, and they didn't care at all. So yeah, there's this woman who, yeah, she's kind of a witness, but she didn't see a lot, so she didn't actually come to the police station. I'm like the Irish guy, and Germans are generally like very cautious, anyways. Like, even if she had seen the whole thing, I'm not sure she would have actually come. But she told me she recognizes the guy who hit me and who assaulted me. Because he's quite a known individual in this entire area. And she told me he's selling drugs to minors in a friggin' public pool area. It's sickening. It's really freaking sickening. There's a lot of crime, and this guy single-handedly brought the crime here with my father.
Good book?
A book? It's a passport to a world of fantasy and imagination.
Yeah, what's the title?
Creative Shelving for Beginners, the 1978 edition.
What's so cool about home improvement?
There's nothing like it. The resinous autumnal aroma of seasoned wood, the rhythmic rasp of the play. Ah, no wonder our Lord came to earth as the son of a humble carpenter. I bet he was a wizard with a chisel and a length or two before.
Surely the portrayal of Christ's adoptive family as humble artisans is a symbolic metaphor.
I don't know about that, but I know they were carpenters. Haven't you read the book?
Well, no. But I have seen The Greatest Story Ever Told, and I don't recall Jesus putting up any shelves. What do you make of this matchbook?
Seems ordinary enough to me.
Do you recognize the man in this photograph?
No, but I wouldn't trust him. His eyes are too close together. He's not a friend of yours, is he?
Oh no, far from it. In fact, I believe it's the face of a killer.
I knew it! Piggy eyes. Can't trust him.
Would you like to shake my hand?
What is this? I don't do that male bonding stuff.
I have to go now.
So yeah, I'm just really sad about the whole. I saved a lot of money throughout the years to buy all these games. They were beautiful. Like, a lot of them were still factory sealed because I'm more of a collector than a gamer when it comes to stuff like Limited Run. And there was like this collector's edition of I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream. That was really cool. It was a Mac collector's edition, but it's really cool. It was really lovely. And yeah, it's all gone now. There was like Panzer Dragoon for Switch, Classic Edition. It was Night in the Woods. I bought 2 copies of Night in the Woods to honor the guy who took his own life after his run-in with Zoe. Was it Zoe? This crazed like purple-haired person who basically drove him to suicide. That was the main producer of Night in the Woods. And it's such a beautiful game, and it bought 2 collector's editions, and they're both gone now. It just took a lot of stuff. I hadn't even unpacked everything because I was gonna move a lot of stuff over to
The
another
gates were
place.
made of solid, age-blackened wood. Pushing with all my strength got me nowhere. They didn't budge. I really need to start working out.
There was also this Yakuza 6 Tree of Life collector's edition, premium edition, with like shot glasses. I understand why he probably stole these because his new girlfriend is an alcoholic, so wouldn't be surprised if they were actively using them. But yeah, it felt like very purposeful the way they stole things. They were in my home multiple times before. There's a lot of stuff on camera. I can't even talk about all the stuff because police might get angry if I kind of reveal all the information to random people on the internet. So
the lad was doing his best to express his adolescent aggression. His effort was somewhat diminished by the fringe of milk on his lightly feathered upper lip.
but yeah, it sucks. I've been through a lot through my life, and now to have my own father, who I always suspected was like doing backhanded stuff, but him being kind of, within a year I found out that he stole from me, that he planted false evidence on my computer to frame me for his own deranged Nazi shit. It's insane. He used my accounts even, like he stole my password lists, and police is not doing anything about it apparently, and he's framed mom too for stuff. It's quite sickening, really. He fought tooth and nail when he found out that mom had won candidacy in the local in our district. She's basically a politician now, part-time at least. And when he found that out, he immediately started slandering her, and we reported him to the feds because slandering a politician is an entirely different matter still, but they say, oh, it's family drama and like divorce drama, and he's going further and further every day. I had to buy equipment to protect myself now because I'm pretty sure he will attack me again or have somebody attack me.
Hi there.
What?
What's your name, kid?
Who are you calling kid? Who the hell are you?
Rosso's the name. Murder's my game.
Are you a detective?
Let's just say I'm here to find the truth.
Cool. Just like on the telly.
Cut the crap and tell me your name.
Liam McGuire.
What are you doing hanging around the bar, McGuire?
I'm on the run from me dad.
Why? Did you do something bad?
I ain't done nothing, boss.
You can tell me, kid. Is it your dad?
Oh, sir. He drinks every last penny down his evil throat. And there's me poor old mother, bedridden and dying of presumption. I tried to buy her medicine. Chopped firewood for father Mahoney till me fingers bled. The old skinflint cheated me too. But I took the pennies he gave me back home. Look, Ma, says I. See what your darling son has earned with his own sweat and blood. When suddenly, me dad appears and grabs the loot. I'm off to Dublin heavy drinking, says he. Watch out till I get back. That's why I runned away.
Something in the grin on his face told me he wasn't being strictly truthful.
Yeah.
Compared to him, Huckleberry Finn was a candidate for Altar Boy of the Year.
But I can relate to that at least. In my case, it's true.
What can you tell me about the castle, McGuire?
What do you want to know?
Well, can I get inside?
No, it's locked up.
Does anyone live there?
No, only...
What?
Oh, nothing.
After that conversation, I've already have to stop the video recording and show you something I've done before I got this heavy beating. It's incomplete, but it's kind of cool for people who are kind of involved in the scum engine.
You know something about the castle you're not telling me, don't you?
No,
What is it you're covering up? Is it something you're scared of?
I ain't scared of nothing.
I'll give you one last chance to tell me about the castle.
Oh, yeah? And what if I don't?
Then I'm taking you back to school.
Oh, there's a ghost. It's called the Phantom o' Loch Man.
You're not telling me you believe in ghosts, are you?
Mister, I seen it with me very own eyes. Last Tuesday night, I went up to see what that dig was about. I just reached the top of the wall when I hears this awful noise.
What sort of noise?
A horrible snuffling and snorting, like O'Brien's pig, only worse. It was coming from inside the castle.
Did you find out what was making the noise in the castle?
No fear. I just sat there on the wall like Humpty Dumpty. The moon was cracked and greasy like an old dinner plate. The yard was full of shadows. I could have been hiding anything. I would have gone home, but my legs had lost their stuffing.
Did you get to see the ghost?
Indeed I did. And a fearsome sight it is too. I sat on my arse, waited while the moon went down. Then out it comes from the shadows, all grey and tattered and hunched over like an old bent willow. Then I hears this spluttering and splashing and horrible laughter in the dark. I was so scared. Why, I fell off the bloody wall.
I'm sure there's a rational explanation for what you saw at the castle.
There is. The bloody place is haunted.
Have you seen a guy dressed as a clown?
Here in Lochmarn, they all dress like clowns.
The man I'm looking for is a dangerous psychotic.
Jesus. It's just like that film I saw. There's this clown scene, and he's after this kid who saw him kill a guy. He tries to warn the sheriff, only no one believes him. Then, while he's in the tub, the clown cuts him up with a chainsaw.
My God, that doesn't sound suitable for a kid like you.
Who are you calling a kid? I'm 25.
Yeah, right. You're not a day over 14.
Oh no, it's 25 that I am. Married with a car and 3 kids. 10 kids if you count the wives.
Have you ever seen this man before?
What a slimy character. No, I never seed him.
See you later, kid.
Okay, mister.
Love the shadow. So yeah, what he told the police is also so bloody insane. Like, he told police that he heard water droplets and that he came in to check. And the thing is, he's done that multiple times, and the first time he did it, he saw the camera already, and his girlfriend was there as well, and they talked about how they will steal my father wanted to steal my computer as well. That is stashed away there. And I've not been using a desktop computer for a while, and not used that computer ever since I was implicated in that shit, in the Nazi shit. So that computer was actually used as evidence against me for a year, and then they had to release it because they didn't really find anything on it. And ever since then, they broke off a leg on it, so it can't even stand it can't even stand vertically anymore, and it kind of sucks. Like, I might have to buy a new one at some point because they won't even replace it. Freaking German police. But yeah, he talked about my computer, and his girlfriend was like, no, he will miss that one. That one is too big. And they were like in front of the camera. I'm saying too much already. Sorry. But yeah, they were like, maybe I shouldn't say anymore, but they were basically discussing what they were stealing in front of the camera, and then they were making this stupid excuse, oh, they're just here to check on water droplets. Bloody insane. I just wanted to, okay, this is what the original looked like. Cool. There's a lot of like artifacting, I would say. Well, it's technically dithering, but it's, yeah. Okay, I'll have to pause here, and I'm getting too worked up. I have to get like a sleeping pill or something. My side hurts as well, like 4x. He punched me really hard in that one before I got thrown down the ravine. Okay, my arm, he twisted my arm as well. I wasn't even like defending myself. I was too busy trying to make the phone work. I thought if I could record this as he was attacking me because he has a criminal history, I figured, oh, maybe this would be a good way for him to be put away so I could have some peace. And because we also suspect him of actually destroying a sculpture in the area, like he came all the way up, like not talking about my father, talking about the pimp who roughed me up. He was coming all the way up to my mom's new home, and somebody smashed the sculpture with a fucking sledgehammer. So, and we suspect that was him as well because some people were also threatened that night. And that was the same night I was burglarized, so it can't have been my father. It must have been somebody else related to these people. And there's no other people in this area. Like, mom moved to a quite richer neighborhood, so there's it's quite a peaceful neighborhood, and everybody's watching out for her. So it was definitely related. Anyway, I'm gonna switch the stream for a sec. Hopefully this works. Okay, there we are. Work? Okay. So, this is my special build of ScumDM. I had to change a few things there. This is my old game my old game jam game. It didn't fare too well, unfortunately. Very unfinished. And yeah, a lot of this Day of the Tentacle stuff is not actually Day of the Tentacle. It's just it's just like Scum projects that use Day of the Tentacle as an ID. Anyhow, here's the N visual novel. This is also the Scum engine. And now, for those who aren't in the know, they will probably be surprised to see the resolution. This is a perfect 1920 by 1080 resolution. I think it should have shown for a sec that it was 1080 up here before it said objection. Again, this is not perfect yet. I'm right now I'm working on the text rendering. As you can see, like longer letters will be kind of cut off. The G, for example, there's a lot of work that has to be done. And also I had to disable like some cleanup process with the text window, because the way it works in Scum is in the original versions you kind of had like a virtual screen for text, a virtual screen for the inventory, a virtual screen for the main game window. And in the newer version of Scum, the text virtual screen is supposed to be composited on top of the normal game. Unfortunately, there's some issue with that apparently, because when I boot this up and like keep the process intact for actually occasionally cleaning the screen, like this doesn't work right, and you can sort of see it clip. And when I click here, this is also a mess. Well, that's a different font type, so that's. But you can see here, this is not even being cleared right now. This is still stuck. So, yeah, and then it's getting drawn on top of it. So, obviously, that's the wrong font, anyways. But you can see there's like some rendering issue. But yeah, the cool thing is it's really a high resolution. It's a very high resolution. So the whole background is, I took the background, I ripped the background, and I made it into 1920 by 1080. And I took this one, the foreground, the Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney foreground. I took from the Phoenix Wright Wikipedia, and that's native 1080p, so that's really cool. That's really cool to me that it is such a high resolution now, and I feel I want to do something cooler eventually. Like, obviously want to create my own game in it. Maybe I could actually port Broken Sword Reforged to it if I ever find out if they ripped it yet, or it would be kind of cool, like getting something working on it other than like my own stuff. Obviously this is like this is from this is like a witness stuff from sorry, painkillers kind of setting in. This is kind of like witness commentary from the last episode of the first Phoenix Wright game on Xbox in the trilogy that I played recently because it was in Game Pass. And yeah, I just took that kind of disposition and like put the text and dialogue, and obviously there could be an entire game, and obviously I'm not just doing this for like clout or to like show up off Phoenix Wright, because eventually I figure I could also use that engine for my own game. Like I could make a visual novel, I could make even a like a judge drama or something, like just like Phoenix Wright. And also Ocean Frill. The console port for modern consoles could also look like this, similar to this. It could remain still a text adventure. Like you could have like a view here, and then you sort of have like commands on the side, and like some description text on the side. There's like this Bard's Tale collection that does it quite well, and I could look at that and maybe. I really want to port a text adventure to a more modern gameplay concept and still make it fun, and still make it fun for interactive fiction fans. So, but there's gonna be coming up more in the coming days when I'm hopefully recovered fully, and I really want to show off some really cool stuff that I can do now. It's really cool what I can do. Let's see, actually. It's my normal scum. It's actually wait, you won't see that. Never mind. I'll make a separate video about that. You can't see it. I forgot I'm doing window recording right now, so that's not visible. Yeah. I'll do a separate recording. I also have I finally have this little interface going for a kind of Case of the Golden Idol like game, which is also kind of cool. I'll be right back. I'm actually gonna record that as well. And then I have to go to bed because I've been sitting here for almost 40 minutes and everything just hurts.